Rhodes Show. Turn up your mind.
I, Karen Ruth Bass,
I, Karen Ruth Bass,
do solemnly swear
that
I will support the Constitution of the United States,
I will support the Constitution of the United States,
the Constitution of the State of California,
the Constitution of the State of California,
and the Charter of the City of Los Angeles,
and the Charter of the City of Los Angeles,
and that I will faithfully discharge the duties
and I will faithfully discharge the duties
of the office of mayor
of the office of mayor
according to my best ability.
according to my best ability.
Madam Mayor.
Today is a monumental moment in my life and in Los Angeles. We're going to make so much history together in a state that has enshrined in our Constitution a woman's right to decide. Tomorrow morning, I will start my first day as mayor at the city's emergency operations centers, where my first act as mayor will be to declare a state of emergency on homelessness. A state of emergency on homelessness. My emergency declaration will recognize the severity of our crisis and break new ground to maximize our ability to urgently move people inside and to do so for good. So I call on our city to not just dream of the LA we want, but to participate in making the dream come true.
All right, congratulations, Los Angeles. I hope that Karen Bass does a fabulous job for you. She declared a state of emergency on homelessness, which is basically what that whole race was about. You had a very, very wealthy developer who ran against her and spent, I think, $100 million of his own money to get, the votes of Angelenos, and got a lot of star power behind him. This was a Republican who became a Democrat, okay? And got people like Katy Perry to endorse him. People like, what's her name, from Goop. You know who I'm talking about? She endorsed him. I mean, so many celebrities endorsed Karen.
Paltrow, right? Is that?
Yeah, Gwyneth Paltrow. Endorsed, Karen Bass's opponent, but Karen Bass, in the end, with very little money and just a plan to do something about homelessness, prevailed. And so now she begins as the very first woman mayor of Los Angeles, also only the second African-American person to be mayor of Los Angeles. But she begins with declaring a state of emergency at the Emergency Operations Center, where today she was flanked by election officials and declared the homeless crisis in Los Angeles to be a state of emergency. Now, she's going to have to get approval from the city council in order to enact, or expedite the process of creating interim housing. She's, decided that she has a plan to get the most vulnerable Angelenos off the street. As the winter weather sets in, she met with the general managers of city departments, and she challenged them to bring solutions to her to make the government more responsive when addressing homelessness. She wants to bring people indoors, and she wants to bring them indoors forever, meaning these are now your homes. You can stay here. You can live here. And, start solving the problem of homelessness. She wants to eventually build housing. So did the other guy, right? They wanted to build housing. She wanted to build it faster. And she wants to coordinate with shelter and services and make sure that people who need shelter and services have access to shelter and services. So, I know Karen Bass from Congress. I don't know how she'll be as an executive. I imagine she will be wonderful. I wish her all the very best in her efforts to solve some of the most debilitating problems that the city has for the people who are rendered homeless and for the people who don't like seeing people rendered homeless. So, it's interesting that our focus as a let's say, party. I don't know how else to put it. But our focus as Democrats, our focus as legislators, our focus as executives seems to be solving difficult problems, being serious about serious problems. And the other side's MO seems to be pointing at the problems, telling you who's to blame for the problems, and making you angry about the problems, but not interested in solving them at all, ever. They just want to get you aggravated, angry, and agitated. They want you full of, vitriol. They want you full of resentment for anybody who gets anything, because they are selling you this idea that governing is a zero-sum game, that if somebody gets a right, that means you lost a right. Well, it doesn't work that way. That's not how governing is. And so, listen, that was the good news for the day, is to watch Karen Bass get sworn in by Kamala Harris and be able to hope and, have a high level of anticipation of seeing some of the more serious problems in our country get solved. That would be wonderful if we could see movement on the homelessness issue and find out, what did she do that made the difference? And I know that Karen Bass is aware that that is what we're looking to her for. I know that she ran on it because she intended to do something about it.